Drills Talk, episode 174. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons to take control of your life. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled, You're Responsible for You. Yes, we are responsible for ourselves. We kind of know that we are, but it's so much easier to point fingers and say that things occur because of outside sources when a lot of the times it's us. It was our choice. It was our lack. It was our overreaction. It's usually us. So we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons why we should and know we should take control of our lives. Let's go.
Yo, Drills.
Drills Talk, episode 174. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons to take control of your life. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're on entrepreneurship/mindset motivation channel. Every Monday, there's a new blog. Every Wednesday, there's a new Drills Talk. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Let's get started. Number 1. Number 1 is you're responsible for you. Yes, that's not news. We're responsible for ourselves. We know that, but what do we do with that information? If we knew that we were responsible for ourselves, could we put all of our financial stability on one job? Will we do that? Because if we're responsible for us, that means if that job's not there, then we can take care of ourselves elsewhere. Now, some of us can say, all right, well, I don't have that many bills. And if I do lose this job, I can get another job in 2 weeks and be okay. But if some of us lose 2 weeks of payment, we're behind on our mortgage or our rent. We can't eat. We miss car payments. Most of us are check to check. So what do? We have to take more responsibility for ourselves. We have to say that, well, am I prepared for losing my only financial stream of income? I'm probably not, right? So what we can do, because we know we're responsible for ourselves, is get a little side hustle, a little side gig, or at least know or line up what we can do if this was to go away. Because whoever our boss is or whatever company we work for, they're not responsible for us. They're responsible for paying us if we work the hours that we are to work every week, but they're not responsible for our well-being. They're not responsible for our bills getting paid. They're not responsible for us. So when we take back the power and say, I'm responsible for me, we're not really pointing fingers, because we understand that if something was to go wrong, ultimately it's on us to take care of that problem. So that's a mindset that we need to adopt if we haven't yet. Number 2 is you're accountable for your decisions. So every decision that we make has consequences. We want to make things that have good consequences, right? We want to make decisions that have good consequences, but not always, the case, right? So, but what we need to understand is that when we make a mistake or we make a decision that's not the best, we have to understand who made that decision. Was that our friend? Or was that, the TV commercial that we saw that kind of got us thinking about something? No, nobody's responsible but us. That decision, that ultimate press of a button, that was us pressing that button. It doesn't matter who put the button in front of us. It doesn't matter who told us there was a button. To get pushed, that was us. The decision, that was on us. So if the decision is on us, then we have to take the accountability, right? We have to say that we're responsible for that. We're responsible for us. So if we're responsible for us, we're responsible for our decisions, and we're responsible for both the bad and good decisions. We'll take, credit for any good decision that we make. Rarely take the blame or the accountability for the bad decisions. We just want to sweep those under the rug, and we cannot do that. We'll make far less bad decisions if we do take accountability for them, because we're not going to like the way that feels. We're not going to like the fact that we have to clean up our own mess. And in turn, we will make less bad decisions. But if we ignore them, as most of us do, when we do make them, we brush them under the rug. It's like they never happened. And guess what? It happens again. Number 3. Number 3 is blaming others doesn't fix anything. Not a damn thing. It actually just wastes time. And the person that we're blaming or we're attempting to point blame to, they're not affected like we're affected. If something happens to us and we're pointing the blame, that person that we're pointing at, Now, there's no blame or no energy that goes towards them. We're absolutely wasting our time. The problem is with us. The fix is with us. So if we are so comfortable, anybody listening, so comfortable pointing the finger at others or pointing the finger at some outside source other than pointing at us, because ultimately we're the fixer, it's a complete waste of time. It is procrastination in another form, right? Because instead of fixing the issue, we're taking time out of the time we could be using to fix the issue to point the blame at somebody who's over there living their life. You think that they're saying, oh, well, that person over there made a bad decision. Let me postpone my journey towards my goal until they stop pointing the finger at me. You know that's never happening, right? But yet we still take time out to point the finger at others, to point the finger at parents for our upbringing, to point the fingers at bosses for not promoting us. Instead of saying, okay, well, maybe my parents told me what not to do. They showed me what not to do, how I don't want to raise my family. But we're not using that. Oh, maybe the fact that I didn't get promoted is going to have me seek employment elsewhere and make sure that when I do accept the job, it is a built-in promotion, right? You want that promotion as soon as you say yes and accept that offer. But instead, we're going to just point and say, well, you're the reason why I'm not moving forward. No, you're the reason you're not moving forward. Because you're using your past as a reason as to why you're the way you are and ignoring the fact that you have control over the way you are. You're pointing at a boss who maybe has one slot to promote somebody. And instead of saying, okay, well, maybe I wasn't good enough for that slot, or maybe I was good enough for that slot, I'm going to go fill someone else's slot and get the position and the money that I feel I deserve. Instead of doing that and taking action, we're going to just sit back and we're going to point. And what are we doing? We're procrastinating. We're wasting time because that's not going to do anything. That boss is still going to show up and get his or her check. And your parents are still going to be your parents, whether you like them or not, whether they set you up for success or not, anything. It's like there's a no-win situation. All you're doing is wasting time. I hope you understand that now and change that about yourself if you do find yourself doing that. Number four is you have more control than you think. We have ultimate control. I mean, no, we don't control the weather. Based on our skill set, maybe we don't control becoming, extremely wealthy fast. But building wealth, we control that. Not standing in the rain if it's raining, we control that. Not allowing the rain or bad weather to stop us from doing something we wanted to do. You don't have to not jog because it's raining. You can still go out and jog. You don't have to, postpone meeting your friends because it's really cold outside when you're going to eat inside anyway, right? So we're talking about going to your car, driving in your car, and then parking and then walking inside of a most likely heated place. So let's get rid of the fact that we don't have control over anything. We have control of the majority of our lives. And it's scary because if we admit that and we look at where we are in our lives, then we have a problem with ourselves. Because it's like, well, damn, I have all this control, all this power, but look where I am, nowhere near where I want to be. How did I get here? You got there by not telling yourself that you have all that power. You got there by allowing a boss or some circumstances in your past to tell you who you are and what you should be, as opposed to still knowing what you want to be and going towards that regardless. We don't do that. And yes, it could be a mindset thing. I could be bringing that up and now light bulb flash. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to move this way. But others, the light bulb will go off still. And as soon as this video is over, we move back to turning that light bulb off. So I want to make sure that the light bulb stays on. Every time that you are going to do something, understand that you control that. When you get hungry after this video is over, you are the one that's going towards the food and eating it. When you get a little restless and bored, you're the one picking up your phone. You're the one calling that friend. You're the one picking up a remote controller and playing the game. You're the one turning on the TV. You choose what you're watching. You choose what you're doing when you're bored. You choose not to pick up a book. You choose to pick up something else. It's all a choice and it's all you. Take accountability for yourself. You have a lot more power than you think you do. Drills Talk, episode 174. These are the top 4 reasons to take control of your life. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drill.